Alright, CNT125, we are working on our routers and routing protocols lab. So first thing, I did download a copy of my directions. After that, I downloaded a copy of my packet tracer file. I have opened my lab direction page right here. I have that ready to go. And I also have my packet tracer file ready to go. So let's jump right in. So first part of our routers and routing protocol lab is we need to cable up our network based on the map that's on the second page. So as I take a look at my map, I see there's two routers, a 2811 and 4321. These are identical to what we have in our lab room. And then we also have two switches here, 2960s, again identical to our lab room. And we have a couple workstations. So we're pretending that this is like a two sites of a company, maybe like the Harrisburg site with the workstations there, and then like the Philadelphia site and the workstations there. That's what we're simulating with this. So we need to cable it up according to the map. And if we look closely next to the router, there are indications of ports and IP addresses to be used for that port, ports, IP address to be used, etc. So, and I even have notes here about straight through cable from router to switch, because those are unlike devices, straight through cable. And a crossover cable between the two routers, because they are like devices. We need a crossover cable between like devices. So we are going to cable up this network according to what we see on the map. Now let me scroll back here real quickly. I also have a couple tidbits here on where we should be cabling. We're going to use the physical tab to do most of the cabling, and we're going to do the logical tab to do one or two little tidbits at the very end. So let's go to the Harrisburg site and get things cabled up. So I'm going to go to the physical tab right away. Harrisburg City, Harrisburg Office. There's my workstations and outlet. We're going to go right to the closet because we want to cable up our router and switch for sure. So let's zoom in. And we want to, according to our map, cable up on the Harrisburg 2011. That's what I have here, 2011. We need the Fast Ethernet 00 port to go to the switch to the Fast Ethernet 24. So I'm going to grab my connections, straight through cable. On my router, Fast Ethernet 01, Fast Ethernet 00. I need the 00. That is going to go to, we need to go to our switch, and we need port 24, and there's port 24. As I hold it over, that pops up. Oh, come on, there we go. So that is now connected. We have 00 to port 24. We also have workstations that need to be connected to our switch. Now remember, we have the patch panel to switch, so I'm going to back out here, and I'm going to go my workstation here to the outlet like we'd have in the office. Workstation here to the outlet like I have in the office. Then I'll go back to the closet, and these first two ports are what we just patched in, if you will. We are going to connect into the first two ports on the switch here. Those first two patch panel ports into the first two ports on the switch, and I should see blinky link lights here. I won't see blinky link lights here yet because I haven't configured the router. So there is my connections I need at the Harrisburg site so far. We're going to do this same action, if you will, over here at the Philadelphia site. So let's go to the Philadelphia site. And actually, while I'm here, I might also just cable up my workstations to the outlets. Jack 0, Jack 1. Go into my closet. I will cable those workstations in, Jack 0 into port 1, Jack 1 into port 2, and then we might as well get this switch to the router connection. We need this switch, port 24, to, in this case, we need, if I take a look at my map, port 24 on the switch to Gigabit Ethernet 001. So I need to go to the router here, and there is 001, and right below it is 000. So we need the 001 connection. Get on there. There we go. And that's connected. And again, I should see blinky link lights here for the switch, but I won't see them on the router yet because the router is not configured. Also, while I'm here, I'm going to console in my laptop. So we'll console in here into the router. And the router, we need not the auxiliary, but the console port. So now that router has a console connection to the laptop. Now I did not, let me go out here, I did not, at the Harrisburg site, I did not console this one in. I did not console this laptop in. The reason being, this router, the console port, is actually on the back. So if I right click on this guy and do expect rear, this actually shows the back of the router. Here's where the actual power cord and power switch is. There's the console port here. And the way Packet Tracer works, it's a little fussy, if you will. If I try to connect the console cable into here, it won't let me. Okay, so what I need to do for this site, I'm going to back out here. I'm going to go to the logical tab, and I need the console from here. I need to do RS-232 into the console port here, and it works fine on the logical tab. And if I were to go back to the physical, I will see it's actually, it shows it cabled in. Shows it oddly, but it is there. Oops, go back there. Okay, it is consoled into the router, so it's like, okay, all right. So there is my physical connection so far. The only one left is this connection right here. And if you notice in my notes here, between the two routers, I'm doing that right here. Between the two routers, I'm going to do here on the logical tab. So I'm going to grab a crossover cable, and I'm going to connect from my 01 port. Again, double check your map. Right here, 01 port over to 000. Okay, so this guy is 000. There we go. We are now all cabled, and we'll notice that these are down. That's normal. We have not configured the router, so those ports are turned off. But down here, I will see link lights to the switch, and I'll see my console connections. So there's my physical connections on my network for part 1. Okay. I will need to keep this handy for configuration because of the IP addresses and so forth. So let's scroll down here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to console in. So hopefully you remember from the last lab. To console, I'm going to open my laptop here. I'm going to go to the desktop. Looks like that's powered off, so let's power him on. There we go. There's a little power button on him. Let's go to the desktop. And I'll do a terminal connection, 9608 none 1 none. Say OK. And there is my router connection. So there's the console connection. Hopefully you remember that from last time. And actually, if I wanted to, I could double check this one too. Go here, go to desktop, do terminal, 9608 none 1 none, enter, oh, come on, and we're up and going. Alright, now I might want to, before I get too much further, I'm going to do a save as on this, and for me, I'm just going to put here on the bottom demo, because this is my demo file. But I might want to save my progress so far. All right. In the next podcast, we will start working on configuring the basics on our router.